What's going on, guys? Today I'm using NHL 26 to restart the NHL with a fantasy draft. I like to make this video every year when the game first comes out just to kind of see how the fantasy draft goes. I figured for this one we use the all-new Utah Mammoth. I'm not sure how much I'll use them this year, but might as well for the first fantasy draft. Obviously, overalls for this do not matter as we have fantasy draft turned on. And I'm also going to leave on salary cap, which won't affect the draft, but it will affect trades. And make sure, guys, if you're ever doing a fantasy draft to turn off authentic cap penalties. That way, each team starts with a clean slate. Same goes for draft pick ownership. Make it classic, so every single team just has 7 picks each round. So here we go, guys. Gonna get into the fantasy draft. Kind of funny looking at the AHL team there. Obviously, still very much Arizona Coyote branded. So I wonder if they'll make a new one that's more related to the Utah Mammoth. We actually just loaded in with pick number 7. Honestly, I think we'll just keep that one. First ever, load into fantasy draft. They're giving us number 7, which is actually my lucky number. The Sharks picking 1's also kind of funny. Stanley Cup champs at 2. Okay, so we're just going to keep pick number 7 here. Should be able to get a very good player. Kaprizov just went at 6. You got Matthews there, Draisaitl. McDavid at 3. What? Makar 2, and Quinn Hughes goes number 1. Wow, okay, so these teams definitely heavily, favoring defense. I mean, I've seen both these guys in the sim, at least last year. They were absolute cheat codes, so maybe they're onto something. McDavid at 3, though, is kind of wild. All right, we have some good players, I think, to choose from. Kucherov, 96, McKinnon, both those guys, it's got to be one of them. I think in the sim, I've only done one sim so far. McKinnon had like 68 goals, so I'm going to go Nathan McKinnon. I'm not going to overthink this one. Getting him at pick 7 is kind of crazy. I'm curious to see, too, just kind of how the rest of that first round went. But Dard there at 8, above Kucherov. Eichel, Pastrnak, Barkov, Connor Hellebuyck. So Islanders get a great goalie. Hughes is another guy I was thinking of. Matthew Tkachuk, Rantanen. Yeah, the entire first round is basically just filled with studs. Celebrini there, obviously. Him and Bedard is more for if you're probably not doing a one-season franchise. Same with Michkov there. Stützle at the very end of it. Okay, so curious to see here. A late second. We still have Sebastian Aho. Could have a nasty one, too. Also, Josh Morrissey there. Could give us a really solid number defenseman. Victor Hedman. Our next pick will actually be kind of soon. There's still a few good defensemen. I do say that, but there's a lot more good forwards. What do we have? I'd like to get 290s here. Our best chance of that, I think, would be hoping Hedman's still there with our next pick because he is 34. So with this next one, could go Keller too. Him, McKinnon on the first line. I think that could be absolutely deadly. So you know what? We're going to go Clayton Keller. He's actually on the Utah Mammoth, so kind of works out well. Is Victor Hedman still there? And Josh Morrissey's still there too. Who do I want more? Wow, this is actually unreal. Morrissey, 5-star puck skills, 93 offensive awareness. Hedman's got 5, 92. Hedman there is better physically. He's also got a bit better defensive stats. Jeez, this is actually kind of a tough one. Morrissey's got a bit more X factors. I think I'm going to go Josh Morrissey here just because there's a slim chance Victor Hedman still could be there with our next pick. I don't see it happening, but honestly, they're pretty much tied to me in terms of, how good they were. Hanifin just went. Yeah, Dougie Hamilton actually been really nice. So yeah, Hedman there is gone, but we could get like a John Carlson, Drew Doughty. Be a really nice top D pair at that point. I'm kind of leaning that way. Obviously, it's hard to know when these kind of more veteran guys will go. Kind of the same thing. Carlson, Doughty, who do we like more? Look at their stats here. Drew Doughty's a bit better defensively, 91 D awareness. Carlson's only got 88, but he is better offensively. I think, pairing him up with Morrissey, who's more offensive. Drew Doughty probably makes more sense. 2 years left at $11 million. Would this guy still be available with our next pick? Maybe. Still, though, I think, we really want that solid top D pair. Now, honestly, I'm probably looking to just fill out a really good top 6 forward group. I know, too, I haven't even looked at goaltenders yet. Bobrovsky's still there. Saros is still there. Usually, there's not elite goalies still available at this spot. Could go for an elite goaltender. John Carlson's still there. Oh, my goodness. Wow, so maybe we did take Doughty there a bit early. Also, too, behind Bobrovsky, Saros, just still got Swayman, all these 87s. I actually might try taking a goalie a bit earlier just because I think a lot of these veterans could slip as well. You got a guy like Gabe Vilardi here, 26, 86, high top 6. I feel like he'll be a guy that computers kind of look at earlier than, somebody older. So let's take Gabe Vilardi with our next pick. Kind of a weird pick, but like I said, I'm trying to get in the computer's heads. As I say that, Spencer Knight goes, Kopitar. Okay, there's no way Bobrovsky, Saros are still there, but we'll take a look. Kemper's still there, Freddie Anderson, Markstrom, okay. So I guess a bunch of computers just prioritize goalies in the 5th round. John Carlson, we almost took 2 picks ago. I think we have to take him. We almost took him 2 ago. Our defense now is absolutely stacked. We got a really good first line. Honestly, I probably just picked the last 3 defensemen really late. Malkin is still there. Carlson. Could have gotten Eric Carlson. Even better power play. Still have 387 goalies. Jeez. So we're just, again, trying to think, what are the computers going to do? Will Cooley, 2385. He could be a guy computers, you know, look to take next. Power forward as well. All right, we're going to take Will Cooley. Again, I'm just trying to think where they're going, who's going to be available late for us. And honestly, we do need, you know, more forwards here. Wow, they just took all the 87 goalies. Could still take Gibson. Obviously, the Red Wings' new starting goaltender. This might be a bit early. We're going to take Gibson with our next pick. Malkin just went. We still have Erik Karlsson. Karlsson should just produce so many points for this team. Have him on like the second power play with John Karlsson. And probably just have Drew Doughty play like PK for us. Okay, so top 4 defense is stacked. Forward-wise, we do still need some help. Goalies, Gibson's still there. Okay, we're not going to risk it. We'll take him there at 8. A little bit earlier. Sorry, that was round 9. A little bit early, I'm sure. Now, though, can focus on forwards. Patty Kane, Stamkos available. Who's going to sim better? I mean, Patty Kane's making $3 million. He'll probably go before Stammer's making $8 million for 3 more years. So Patty Kane, I think, is a bit of a steal there. Stamkos is still available. We're not going to overthink that one. Kane's a playmaker. Stamkos is a sniper. All of a sudden, our second line forward group is looking really good. And again, defense, we're going to wait probably till the end for that bomb pair. Same with the backup goalie. Mikael Backlund could be a really good 3C. Same goes for Adam Lowry. Jamie Benn making $1 million for 1 year could also really help on the wing. Adam Lowry, though, 5-star defense. Yeah, I think he'd be like the perfect 3C for us. So I'll take him with that next pick. We got Ryan McDonough still there, which is crazy, but we just don't need defense right now. I think Jamie Benn makes a lot of sense. Now, I started by defense, guys. Logan O'Connor is the best guy available. 90 awareness and stick check. This is with my roster. I boosted it a bit. I mean, he'd be ultimate PK, guys. So I'm kind of going out there and just getting the guys I want, trying to fill out, you know, the best team we can. Especially, too, like, veterans should be available for a bit. So he's going to be a 4th liner. We still need a couple 3rd-line wingers. Taylor Hall has that speed. I definitely like him on the 3rd line. Could probably play, like, second power play for us as well. So let's go grab Taylor Hall. And honestly, look at Nyquist here for the right wing. Another guy just could play with them, put up some points. I think Adam Lowry in the middle. This could be nasty. So, 4th line, we already got O'Connor. Matt Rempe just went. Still need bottom D pair. Brent Burns is available. Tyler Myers. Brent Burns is 40, making $1 million. I mean, he's not that bad, though. Tyler Myers, of course, should give us... Physicality is not that good, even though he's 6'8". Marcus Foligno for a 4th liner. I kind of like the 5-star physical. Jordan Stahl could be in the middle. We already got O'Connor. Let's go Foligno here. Again, I think with our top 4 D being as solid as they are, the bottom pair doesn't matter too much. We still need a 4th line center. Looks like Stahl is gone. Burns, though, is still there. Lars Eller we could get. 88 D awareness. I think I'm going to grab Brent Burns, though. 40 years old. Let's have the oldest player in the league on our team. We now need a 4th line center, a bottom pairing left defenseman, and... Jordan Stahl is still there. Let's see. Take a look. Yeah, he's got the quick draw X factor. Should be winning a ton of faceoffs. He's always like kind of the 4C in fantasy drafts. That hasn't changed this year. So we now just need a left-handed bomb pairing defenseman and a backup goalie. Luke Shen is righty. Same with Myers. I mean, could move them to the other side, or we could get Alexiak. 4.5-star physical. I'm surprised it's not higher. Alexiak, 6'7". I think he's the heaviest player in the league. You know what? Let's put him on our bottom D pair. Then final pick here, guys. We're going to get a backup goalie. Who's playing behind Gibson? Okay, let's just take the Red Wings goalies. Wow. 84-85 is a pretty good tandem, I would say, in our net. So, overall, pretty happy with this. We'll see what this team actually ends up looking like on paper. And just looking at our picks here, guys, I feel like we're going to have a very solid team. And now, before I show you guys the lines for this team, first we have to talk with the head coach. Curious to see, we should be competing for a cup. Yeah, we are. Okay, so we'll agree to that. Also, too, in terms of the preseason focus, just to keep it more fair, I guess, more of a challenge. I'm not going to boost them at all. Just going to do team bonding there, which basically just increases like morale and stuff, which we have turned off, so it might do nothing. I'm not too sure. And just into the preseason, guys, we're currently 4-2. Honestly, I feel like this team should be the best team in the league just because we're the only ones drafting for, like, you know, 1 year success. Everyone else is drafting for future success. Check this team out. Like, we are so stacked. I've actually moved Stammer up to first line left wing. As playing with McKinnon and Kelly, they get a +5. Also, too, just so much offense now. Second line there, you got Kane, Velarde, and Cooley. Velarde, he's a right winger, but he did play center in junior. 6-7 faceoffs. Hopefully does okay there. They get a +4 chem boost. Third line there's Hall, Lowry, and Nyquist, as we expected. Fourth line's also we thought would be O'Connor, Stahl, and Foligno. Has to be the best fourth line in the league. Surprise, no chemistry boost. Defensively here, we got Morrissey, Doughty on that top pair. We got the two Carlsons on the second pairing, -1, but should be okay. And then Alexiak and Burns there on the bottom. Of course, goalies, we got the Red Wing tandem in Gibson and Talbot. Special team-wise as well, like, top power play unit is absolutely stacked. Velarde here has 93 hand-eyes, so him in front of the net. not supposed to be Jordan Staal. I don't know how that got messed up. Good thing I caught it. McKinnon here is supposed to be the trigger man, playing with Keller there, Morrissey, and Carlson. Just going to double check. So yeah, distributor Keller, McKinnon there, finisher, and puck carrier. You guys might notice too, one small change, I guess, to franchise. No longer does it show like the X factor on their roles. It just shows who it is, probably because of the new X factors or whatever. Power play 2 though also gets a +5, kind of like the veteran one minus Cooley, who also should be doing good out front. 4-man power play there also looks solid. Same with the 4-man power play 2. PK wise, again, we got, a lot of defensive forwards we were drafting for that. Unfortunately, after the first regular PK, the chemistry gets pretty bad. Like 3-man 1's -1, then we get a -3 and -3. So hopefully, like, that first unit's the only one that's really out there, which should be the case for the most part. And if you guys are curious about the captaincy, I got McKinnon wearing the A, as I couldn't take the C away from Keller. This is already his team. And then Morrissey there also wearing an A. And finally here, guys, we'll take a look at the ratings before we get started here with the sim. I do expect, like I said, at least competing for a cup this season. I'm not gonna lie, in-game, I think those jerseys, black, blue, and white, are very, very sharp. So we got 93 offense, 83 defense. Okay, so definitely it's not just like your defenseman overall affecting that defensive score. It's also like their defensive rating. We got a lot of offensive guys, Carlson, Burns, Morrissey, etc. 86 goaltending. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I see Obi there is on the Preds with Fox and Onger. It's a pretty solid core of players. So I'm hoping this team plays well. Before I start the sim, guys, let me know in the comment section below how good you think they're going to do. All right, guys, rather than a season out the record here, 41, 34, and 5, but there's still 2 games left. We're currently in a wild card spot. We got a couple point lead there on the Blues. You look in the other division, 1 point lead on the Oilers, 2 on the Flames. It's going to be close. So we're going to sim the last couple of games here. Obviously, we're in the driver's seat. We win out. We're in. Both games are at home, too. Winnipeg Jets is a win. Blues is a loss. We still get in with the Blues there, tied with 89 points. We actually beat out the Flames there at 87. So we have the last wildcard spot. I thought this team would have done a lot better than that. I can't believe we were just barely squeaking in the playoffs. Take a look, obviously, at the teams you play and see kind of how they did. Clayton Keller there, 100 points, 27 goals, 73 assists. You had McKinnon there with 92, Morrissey 74. So like our top picks all did really well. Stammer 61, top line's not too bad. Kane there, Velarde, both big dash players. So maybe you have to switch up that second line. Even the top pairing, Morrissey -16 with 74 points. Could switch that up as well. Okay, Carlson had 44. Other Carlson had 40. So yeah, we'll try switching some of these lines up a little bit other than the first line. Looking at our goaltenders, Gibson, most of the starts, 902. Talbot, 919, but because he was the backup, it's hard to really gauge. And look at the entire league here. Pasternak, 120 points, the Blue Jackets. I'm not sure why I couldn't do that in the first year of our Boston franchise. If you guys missed that, go and check it out. Reinhardt there, 111. Wow. Keller was 3rd in points, so that's pretty cool. McDavid there, Michkov. Surprised he did so well with the Blackhawks. Crosby, Scheifele, Kachuk, and Hughes. Goals here looks to be, Pasta there with 65. Defensive scoring, Roman Josi on the Blue Jackets, just feeding Pasternak at 91 points. And then the best goalie here. Most wins was Demko. Save percentage for starters, actually Jake Ottinger, 922 with the Preds. And that's also Ottinger there with the lowest goals against. Didn't have a ton of wins, though, so he might not get the Vezina. And then rookie skaters, Shabanov, 55 points. It's kind of a cheat code. And look at the entire league here, guys. Vegas Golden Knights win the Presidents 105. You had 7 teams 100 plus. Usually, like, the teams are more kind of close together, so I'm surprised so many in that 100 mark. We were actually 16th best team and just got in with 89. You can see there, lots of teams in the 80s. The only team that did not do good was the Jets, actually, 64. And I just checked, we finished somewhere in the middle for both goals for and goals against. I really thought this team would have done better than that, but at least we're, in the playoffs. It would have really sucked if we did miss. Now, in the first round, we get the toughest team in the Western Conference. There was also the President's Trophy winners in the Vegas Golden Knights. And look at their team here, guys. They got Matthew Nye, Scheifele, and Wilson on the first line. They got 2 power forwards there. I don't know. Our first line's way better. Hiddle on the second, Hurdle, Brink. Our top 6 is so much better. Our bottom 6 is better. Defensively, our top 4 is way better. How did this team sim so much better than we did? They do have Shesterkin in net, so they have a much better goalie, but that's it. And in terms of our team, guys, I made a couple changes. I actually moved Clayton Keller to the first line left wing. He just had 100 points, so maybe that's the wrong move. But we actually get +5 still with Velarde at that first line right wing. This is originally what I was planning. I didn't realize I got +5, though, because when I was trying it, I had Keller at the right wing, where you can see it's a +4. And then Stammer playing in the middle there with Cooley and Kane does get +5. So overall, that could be better. Defensively, I moved John Carlson up the top pair. They get a -1, but Morrissey and Doughty had dashes, so maybe Doughty being a bit more defensive will help Carlson on the second pairing. I think special teams wise, we are still fine. So we'll see what happens here in this matchup with the Vegas Golden Knights. Again, on paper, I do think we're the better team. So hopefully, come playoff time now, the team will show it. Obviously, first 2 games here are going to be in Vegas. Unfortunately, we lost the first game 5-4. Second game, though, was a 3-2 win. So both games there decided by 1 goal. Game 3 now, back home in Utah. 4-3 OT win, let's go. Followed up by a 4-3 loss. What a series. Every game so far decided by 1. Tied up to a piece. Game 5 is a 4-1 loss. Okay, so first game, not close. We get the loss. Game 6 is a 6-3 win. Okay, we forced Game 7. Let's sim this thing period by period in Vegas. Can we pull it off? And we're up too early. McKinnon, Carlson. And still 2-0. Third, are you kidding me? Soderblom and then Papasil force OT. And Vegas, Scheifele there, gets the Game 7 series winner. That's tough. And the playoffs are now complete, guys. The Avs there actually won the Stanley Cup, so we'll have to take a look and see who they got on their roster. Also, too, have to take a look at the awards. Obviously, always sucks when you think you're going to be competing for the Stanley Cup, and instead, you're a first-round exit. Boston there, winning the lottery. Again, I wish that could happen for us, although technically could not have. I think we would have had to jump up too many spots. So, take a look here and see a playoff tree. The Avalanche went through the Blues, the Wild, the Canucks, and then beat the Blue Jackets. Obviously, they had Pastrnak, Yossi, so that makes sense. Vegas actually lost in round 2 to the Canucks. Let's see our team there in that first round. Carlson over a point per game. McKinnon, Keller, they were still pulling their weight. Velarde, 5 assists, got up to the top line. I mean, plus-minus wise, team looked a lot better. Gibson gave us below 900 save percentage. Not ideal. I thought, could have helped us out there. So, again, I think we know the team awards individually. Pastrnak, Art Ross, and the Hart. Yossi, James Norris, so yeah, big year for Blue Jackets. Pastrnak, Lady Bing. Shabanov, Calder. Heiskanen, Conn Smythe. Defensemen don't always win it, so that's pretty impressive. Andre there digged at the Vezina, even with only having 28 wins. Shesterkin, though, got the William Jennings. Mikula, the Masterton. Warsofsky there, Jack Adams. You got Crosby with the Selke. Pastrnak, Ted Lindsay, and then also winning the Maurice Richard. So yeah, big year for Pasta. Like I said, I just want to take a look here and see that Stanley Cup winning roster for the Avalanche. So they're led by Heiskanen, Cole Caulfield, Kyrou, Eriksson Ek, Protis, Tuck. I mean, they just got a lot of high 80s. Rasmussen grew a ton, so he had a good season. Actually, let me break this down by forward. So that'd be their first line, second line, third line had an 82 Hayes, fourth line you had Palat. I mean, this team, we had just as much depth and better star power. And then defensively, they had the best guy in Heiskanen. But then after that, pretty good depth again, but ours was better. And then they had 87 Markstrom, only a couple higher than Gibson. So a good team. I think we kind of got robbed. I feel like we had the best team on paper, but obviously the best team does not always win. Either way, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave that thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button for more NHL 26 content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.